What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I bought a bulldozer. I was on Marketplace and I really need to stay off of there, but I was on there and I ran across this thing and I wasn't going to bother with it. It said it needed some work. It did not move, and so I thought about it. I did a little Google searching and got an idea of what I think's wrong with it. And so I called the guy and talked to him, and come to find out the thing was about 2 miles from my house. And so I went and took a look at it. I decided to buy it, and we got it up on the trailer. The guy's uncle that I bought this from has a wrecker and wrecker business, and so he assisted me. I got a little Harbor Freight winch up here with a snatch block. We got it most of the way up there, and we hooked onto it with that wrecker and assisted me just a little bit. We got it on up there, got it tied down, and got it to the house here. And as I say, this is literally 2 miles from my house. That is the only reason I bought it. If this would have been, 20, 50, 100 miles from my house, I wouldn't have bothered with it. But literally 2 miles from my house, so I decided to go check it out, and we throwed it on the gooseneck here, hooked behind a Duramax, and brought it home. This is a D3C LGP Series 3. I think it's around a 2000 model, at least that's what the guy says. He said he was pushing, he was in some mud and stuff, and he said all of a sudden it quit moving. He said they messed with it and they changed some switches and everything, and it's like the park brake was on. They pulled the shafts out of the final drives here so that they could move it so it would free roll. He gave me those. I got them in the back of the truck. I was planning on buying a dozer maybe in a few years, but I was wanting something with a narrow track dozer, so the blade wouldn't be so wide, because this is actually over width a little bit. It hangs over the trailer, not a crazy amount with it being tilted like that, but that's a 10'6", I believe, or 10'4" blade. I hadn't put a tape measure on it yet, but something like that. It's angled so that you lose about a foot of it. So anyway, we're going to try to get this thing off of here. It does crank and run, flawless. Bump the key, it cranks, no problem with that. The blade works. The blade's off a different pump. The pump for the blades right there. The main pump, being as a hydrostatic, is down in there, and from what I researched on the internet, they said that was a common problem that these here dozers had, is there's a plastic coupling between the engine and the pumps that will strip in time with age and everything, and the dozer will quit moving and the park brakes will come on, because without hydraulic pressure in the pumps, it automatically applies the parking brake. So that's what I think is wrong with it, and that's what the guy I bought it from also thinks is wrong with it. The problem is, in order to put that in there, the best, what I've read, you have to pull the engine out is the easiest way to do it on this dozer. So you got to pull the radiator and all that stuff, I'm assuming, and pull the engine forward in order to get to that. I hadn't messed with it. It's still on the trailer, obviously. I'm gonna spend a couple of hours pressure washing this thing after I get it unloaded, and then we'll get around to messing with it afterwards. He's got all the panels loose, and they've been messing with it. He said they put a new switch right there, and couldn't ever get it going. And Waltz's and made him a home in it, but it cranks and runs good, all that. The undercarriage looks fair. You can see the depth right there of the cleats on it. Up under the bottom, I would say they're probably 60% or better undercarriage on it. Of course, we'll tell a little more about it after we get the mud off of it. So I'm gonna set you guys up over here. We'll see what we can do about getting this thing unloaded. As I say, it will not move under its own power, so what I'm gonna have to do is take my tractor over here and push on it, and I'm gonna ease off of this winch right here a little bit at a time, and push on it with my tractor here, and we'll see if we can get this thing off the trailer. There's the old Duramax. So I'm gonna set you guys up over here, and we will see if we can get this thing off here. right, guys, we got her unloaded. That looks like a good spot. I can pressure wash that mud and stuff off of there, get it cleaned up so we can tell more about it. Looks like a pretty good place to wrap the video up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. We'll check this thing out a little bit more.